let's talk about 4.0 overall, because this is still a freaking patch that Jared is claiming, at least.
We learned this week? Well, hopefully a whole heck of a lot about the first jump point that's currently in development and scheduled to make its way into Star Citizen Alpha 4.0 in just the next few months.
So what could actually be coming in the next few months with 4.0? So 4.0 is a freaking huge patch. If you didn't see my video on it earlier this year, that's probably good. It might embarrass me when this patch doesn't come out, but it's the biggest update we've ever had. We've been waiting since 2016 for it. I'm gonna show you guys the announcement for this patch because it's embarrassing.
Here we go. And then finally, 4.0.
4.0, baby, 2018, let's go.
So this is which will be, that'll be the first time we'll go beyond Stanton to other star systems. I'm not going to say how many star systems yet.
Just say one, man.
We'll be able to build with our content pipeline, which we'll show you.
Why you gotta tease? Just say one. Not gonna release multiple star systems out of nowhere.
A little bit up and coming here, which but we're very focused on. Have you seen some of the ATV? How to author star systems at the quality level that we like, with a sense of lore and art and character and history, but be able to do planets, because I mean, sometimes in FPS games people spend forever years just making
the
a small
Crucible and Orion,
2 kilometer
right?
level, and obviously for us
things that are in the PU from Sitcon or from Squadron 42, yeah, that doesn't
we need to be,
cancel out the fact that they got him in. The reputation stuff, I don't think is though.
4.0 is when you will be able to jump to other star systems. Exploration and discovery will be sort of highlight there for obvious reasons. Science and research.
No. See, there are no obvious reasons there, dude. What do you mean? Exploration and discovery will be, just play the game.
The RSI Orion and the Crucible will be two of the big ships that we will be doing there. So that's the roadmap for Star Citizen. So, and our goal is this is the roadmap going forward in, over next year.
See, that's not even like that would have meant 2017. We didn't even get 3.0 over the next year. That's why they were on around the verse, like actually presenting themselves, because it was like, you need to freaking fix this.
Again, please don't hold me to dates, because everyone goes, why did you say that, Chris? I'm like, oh. Anyway.
Always just going to come back to that line. Why did you say that, Chris? So that's the original 4.0 introduction. 2016 CitizenCon. It has been about 8 years since this. That's how long we've been waiting. So you look at this list, and that's why, a little loss of breath, couple blackouts, and some post-traumatic stress disorder from thinking about this. What's in the patch though? Pyro, of course, with the jump gates. We went over this in a lot of detail a couple weeks ago. It's a deep dive on the second channel if you want to check that out. You know what? Going through this in detail, we got the first planet, the second planet, the third planet, the fourth planet, the fifth planet, the sixth planet, but only one of the moons on Pyro 5? I don't know. Pyro 5 is the only one with moons, I believe, in this system. Fourth planet from the star. That's always really funny. Pyro 5, fourth planet. Yeah, but I'm wondering if that means that we're only going to get the one moon, because I'm pretty sure Pyro 5 has a few moons, unless maybe they removed that and made it just one moon now. You think all moons are there? Oh, yeah, look, okay. Okay, so they've just been separated by some other stuff. Where's the continuity, CIG? All right, cool. So yeah, you've got the second moon, third moon, fourth moon, fifth moon, and sixth moon of Pyro 5 here as well. You get Pyro space stations. I believe they said they're planning on 26 as of right now. Here we go.
Yeah.
26 stations.
For the Pyro system release, we plan on 6 planets and 26 stations.
All right. So I believe that's almost as many as in Stanton. But they are, so a lot of them are abandoned, so they're technically not space stations, they're just broken buildings in space. A lot of them are off limits to the general public because they're controlled by gangs that will shoot on sight. And the star system is 3 times the diameter of Stanton. So you're putting, I would say it's probably closer to 14 space stations, 14 to 16 reliable space stations of some sort. Remember, there is really no sort of like overarching law in this system, so it's going to depend on which gangs you're kind of friendly with. But you're putting 14 to 16, maybe 18 space stations in a space that is 3 times... No, that's not right. I'm not trying to dumb myself, so I'm double checking my math real quick. The Stanton system would be 9 times the space as the Pyro system would be 9 times the space as in the Stanton system with less space stations. So you're not necessarily looking at a space that's going to be more crowded than Stanton. It's just that it's bigger. Like, look at how far out here these jump points are. Look how big this system is. I don't know if they have it updated on here. 13 AU compared to the 5 of Stanton. So it's a different equation, and nobody really knows how it's going to feel, but they seem to believe that that's what the balance is calling for. So 26 space stations, along with a few that are the Ruin Station in particular is a landing zone, so it'll be more like a city. We've got the Outposts coming in, which, you know, they have shown us are quite an expansion from the Outposts we have now. We've gotten to see some good looks at how these look in the game. So these are cool areas, but the best part about these areas, in my opinion, are that they are introducing localized gameplay for them.
Outposts anymore.
They're expanding more to like towns than just the outposts that we already know. So this is a good
now,
improvement.
as a player, it will mean a lot more to explore and do at any single individual location with a localized and personal feeling mission types that might see you moving around a single settlement to complete objectives, or doing short hop missions between clusters of settlements on a single planet. So you might head up to a ridge to repair some wind turbines. You could counter an outlaw attack from a neighboring outpost, or on the opposite side, you might be stealing or destroying vehicles for the criminal gang that you're working for.
Yeah, I like the localized mission stuff. You know, it's RPG action adventure Ubisoft sounding things, but the game needs more of that kind of stuff to fill out the small locations. And they're doing a good job, I think, of building more themes and actual reasons for these outposts to be here now. It's another thing that we kind of saw last year. Yeah, I know how that ends. And then I forgot to show you the space stations actually are a lot way big. I got to actually play on the space stations when I was at CitizenCon. These stations are huge. Like, as much space to explore as in a city. It's nuts. And what I didn't get to see was the abandoned space stations, which I think look really, really cool too. This brings a lot of exploration potential and just a new type of space, I think, in the game. Don't know how much they're really going to build into that, though. The terminology they use when they're advertising this stuff is a little nebulous, so we'll see. But the outposts, the space stations, the jump points that we just looked at, all this is planned for 4.0, the location stuff, and then obviously more additional player customization with the character builder that they introduced this year. Besides all these, we've got the Space Cow. Don't know what you're going to do with that, to be honest, but eventually it should be something for the game. You can use them to harvest their goods, their spawnable, their harvestables, whatever it is. You can probably have missions that require shipping them and keeping them safe and stuff like that. You already made the jump gate confirmed for 2035 joke today. Please, for f***'s sake, come up with a good joke. The fire hazard is planned on being in the game with engineering. This is something we've been waiting a long time for. We kind of saw some of the engineering in the new power management stuff that they were just showing off. This is a huge part of the game, honestly. This might be the biggest feature coming in 4.0, in my opinion. This makes this makes ships act a lot different. Life support is also a part of that. This will be interesting because this means that you're not going to be able to put 20 people on your Cutlass Black. Not that anybody ever does that, but this will start to limit the amount of people who can be on board a ship because you only have a certain amount of oxygen that you can create. The life support system will have consumables that you can either craft or buy. Not craft right now. We'll have to wait for that, but in the future you can craft or buy. That keeps your ship operational. And it gives you temperature control. Or you can vent the gas to stop fires if you want. Just different kinds of stuff. Engineering over static server meshing. All right. Server meshing being a feature, then yes, I would say that that's the most important. But as far as gameplay features go, engineering feels like the top to me. Solar burst is an environmental effect, really, in Pyro. This is just like sun flares that come from the star and disrupt you. Yay. The Zeus is a ship that people love and really want to see come in to make my Crusader spirit feel worse about itself. We'll see how that lands. MFD rework, something we were seeing actually in this Inside Star Citizen this week. Good to see that they're making good progress on there. Usually when we start seeing UI in Inside Star Citizen without it being the focus of Inside Star Citizen, it means that it's in like the main dev branch, I think. So that could mean that that's something that they've got pretty much working across the company. And I guess, I mean, it is on the roadmap, so it would make sense if it was getting ready. Multi-tool updates. They are polishing the multi-tool to probably make it work more like whatever is in Squadron 42. Gives us the ability to repair, cut. Oh yeah, it literally says in line with Squadron 42. I think it'll start running on batteries because now they're also introducing charge and drain. This is the idea of batteries. Everything in the game will run on power. If something is powered, it will have an actual power source. So like all of these outposts that we're seeing here, these are all going to have actual power sources. These windmills, these antennas, you can even in some of these shots see the power lines in the background. These aren't just for decoration. These are literally going to be powered, and you can actually go back to Star Citizen sneak peek. This is an engineering console at an outpost in Pyro with fuses and everything. So we've been saying it, but if you didn't believe it, now you can see the engineering system is not just for ships, it is for all locations in the game, and the ability to charge and drain is dependent on batteries, which will take the place of a power source, but you'd have to bring yourself or plug in yourself. So now with charge and drain, they're going to start to introduce this idea and allow for distortion damage to also remove power from things. It's a big update. This is a lot of very important game systems coming in here. Fire extinguishers also coming with the fire hazard. Transit system and mission system refactor are supposed to go in line with server meshing. And that's hats off to that, because we know that they specifically not redone the transit system or the mission system, which I think the transit system includes elevators. Yeah, trams and elevators, right? I've had a lot of problems with those. This is the stuff that they've held off on fixing. All these glitches we talk about. Why don't they fix them? Why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? It's because they've been waiting for this. They've been waiting for server meshing to come in so that they could put the actual systems they want in there. And I don't know if it's going to fix all the problems. Hell, it probably won't. This is Star Citizen. But at least finally we're going to get an actual rework of some of the most painful systems in the game. The mission system that sometimes just doesn't complete missions or tell you about missions, and the transit system that can literally just f you off into the other side of the star system for no reason. So some big fixes, some big changes coming with 4.0. And with this jump point inside Star Citizen, this is probably the first of several that they will focus on 4.0 for. So if you're looking for more information on this upcoming patch, I would just tune into Inside Star Citizen over the next couple months. They're going to be starting to talk about these features that we're looking at and giving us some more detail and telling you all the things that I can't, because I don't know what the heck they're doing with a lot of it. So I hope you enjoyed that little review.